David Van Boglin, who's also in the live audience, is asking, what are your thoughts on Rick's comment and Rick himself during that Nitro era?
What are Rick's comments?
Is it a specific comment, David?
Is this when him and Eric, the thing with him and Eric going back and forth?
I want to get clarification so we can answer your very question. All right.
I think what this is because I saw Eric's rebuttal where Eric basically said that he'd be more than happy to sit down and talk with him. He said he'd be more than happy if he just wants to punch him, but he said he's just not going to air this out on social media.
This was just this week, right?
Yeah,
that you're talking about. Oh, okay, all right. So yeah, I know about.
And they said, I guess.
I guess he said the 4 people that made that thing work were Sting, Hall, Nash, and Hogan, not Bischoff.
Who said that? That was
Rick. I guess Rick said
Rick?
It. Yeah.
I don't know. I know that Hall and that Nash guy wouldn't have been on that list had not Bischoff had Dallas reach out to us and bring us in. So.
Yeah, I mean, the guy with the vision, right? Are you going to discount Scorsese for the greatness of Goodfellas?
Yeah, no, I think that's one of those situations where, I guess as time goes on, like, let's see, first part, Rick said, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are the reason NWO worked. Hulk jumping over made it even more. That's absolutely true. I mean, we were already beating the WWE without Hulk. We were already the #1 wrestling show after I think the 3rd week. But I mean, you take two of the top 5 guys from WWE and you put them on the other show. I would think that you're probably gonna draw a number for a couple of weeks anyway.
But Rick's talking about, see, because Eric had the on-camera role too.
But I think where the heat lies is I was not in the locker room when this was said, was that it was like Savage, Piper, and Hogan were the only people that have ever drawn any money. Everybody else needs to shut the fuck up. Like Eric's made that comment with Rick in the room. Like Rick never drew money. I know, personally speaking for myself, when I was booking, and I'm glad that this was brought up, like this situation was brought up, because I'd forgotten about this. But I used to have what I called like the 12 top guys. And at one point, we had like 9 of the 12 guys were hurt. And I had to basically like write the whole show around Rick. So if I didn't have Rick, I'd been fucked. So nobody drew in the era before the NWO. Like nobody, there was a 10-year, vacuum where the business was just dismal.
Yeah, business was down. We're talking about the 90s, early 90s. After the steroid trials, sex scandals, all that stuff. Yeah.
But it was even the
product was shitty too. The
Hulkamania thing was starting to die. The Saturday night main events were gone. I mean, the business was in a downfall.
Yeah.
Crockett sold, so Crockett went to Turner. So it just but when Rick was, working for Crockett, see, Rick drew in the territories, which is completely different. Like you brought Rick in and Rick drew, and that was what he did. He came in and he drew, and he went to the next territory and he drew. And so
I think with that specific comment, he was talking about Eric's on-camera role, probably in NWO, which Eric would probably admit himself, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, was far more negligible than you guys in the ring. But Eric was kind of masterminding this whole thing, no?
Yeah, it was Eric's concept.
Right. Okay. So, that's got to get props.
That'd be like me saying, me and Scott drove the Model T. No, Henry Ford doesn't get any credit.
Very good. It would take a Detroit guy to pull that one out, wouldn't it?
Thanks, babe.
Bryant Haremza, you had a ladder match with Triple H where you had to climb up and get a sledgehammer. How difficult is it to put together a ladder match when you both don't normally do them?
What do you mean both don't normally? How about fucking never? How about I've never done one in my life? I've got 17 knee operations and fucking he's running the show and I get to talk to him for about 8 minutes in the ring before the doors open. And that was my last match. Everybody else gets to have a last match. That was mine. Fuck me.
How about this? How about incorporating the sledgehammer? Not as a butt plug, by the way.
Who gives a fuck? Gives a fuck about a sledgehammer? All I know is you got to fucking if it's an 18-foot ladder. Guess what? Nobody wins until somebody goes off the motherfucker, and I wasn't going over. So,
gotcha.